a good shot of a Thursday evening in the big city.
It's not that clean, y'all. It's not that clean.
New York Knicks fans are beside themselves after what happened in Game 1 on Tuesday night. Too much to process in terms of Jalen Brunson. Welcome, everybody, to NBA Tip-Off. It's presented by AT&T. Here we are, Studio J in Atlanta, the Inside the NBA crew, along with Shaq and Kenny and Chuck, Ernie Johnson. That's very smart. That's very sharp.
Thank you,
A lot
brother.
of thought went into that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Into what?
Into
My
this
outfit, brother.
into his fit.
I didn't.
No, his fit.
You can't hear, brother?
No, I'm just.
What if I slap hell out you? Could you hear?
Well, you're gonna hear some thunder.
What was
hear some thunder coming?
Now, what was your issue with Cat? What was the issue?
Oh no, he had a issue. I didn't have an issue.
These guys who be spending all their money on bags.
Why are you counting somebody else?
That's not the point.
It's not your money.
You don't have to show people when you got money. Get you just
Why?
a regular old little bag and walk in the arena. Don't spend all that money on the bag. You're gonna need that money one day.
It's like that fanny pack you used to sport.
That's
That's
that bag,
quality.
Come
That's
on, man.
quality bag, man.
That's a $20,000 bag
That's
right
quality
there.
bag. You don't need no cheap bag.
That's $20,000 he ain't gonna have to spend on something else.
You know, like blackjack.
Yep, double down. Always double down on 11.
Shaq, is this a silly argument to be having as we start the show?
Shaq,
But it's Chuck.
but you agree with me though, right?
First of all, how you know the bag is 20 stacks?
Because I've seen it
That's a
before.
Hermes bag. I think that's Hermes. That's about 20.
I wouldn't know because I'm like you.
I think
Chuck.
it is.
So you're not a 20 stacks bag
Hell
carrying
no.
guy.
He's Shaquille O'Neal.
Talking to a man who has 28
To me.
cars.
To me.
Everybody has their vice.
T-U-M-I.
No, Toomey.
Good.
Ain't nothing wrong with Toomey.
Now that we've got all that out of the way, while the Cavs' biggest lead in Game 1 was 22, it was still 20 with 7 minutes left. And no team in playoff history had come back from that deficit with that time remaining. And it's not exactly a small sample size. Teams were 0-6-63.
Jeez.
But then Tuesday happened, and the Knicks roared back to win in overtime. Now the question, what is the lingering effect on Cleveland?
We had 3 quarters of really good basketball. Some of the best basketball we've honestly played in the playoffs. Looking back on it, the fourth quarter, what I'm probably more disappointed about it was our offense. Shot quality wasn't great. And for 3 quarters, the ball's moving. We're passing it to the open guy. Swing. It was beautiful basketball. And then, I don't know.
I mean, we gave them a game. I think 90% of the game we controlled it. The last 10%, they did a great job. You got to give them credit too for not giving up and making shots at the end. And that was the game.
We got to come out ready to go. Honestly, I think we did. It was the middle, second and third quarter where we let go of the rope. They were playing great basketball. Had us on our heels. I mean, we don't want to be in the position where we're down 22 again. But regardless of what the score was, being able to fight back, having that mindset, it definitely helps.
Here it is. This is the place, what it's about. You live between misery and awesomeness, in the playoffs. And this is, of course, misery, but it's probably the 4th miserable game, 4 or 5 miserable games we've had in the playoffs. So it's like, okay, come on, get back on the horse. We go back at it.
Cavs are 8-7 overall in this postseason, and this was the final 12:52 of that game, which went into overtime, so the last 7 and change in the 5-minute overtime period, and the dominance of Jalen Brunson over Cleveland as a team. And now we head to the Garden where Lisa Salters is going to be working the sidelines tonight. So, Lisa, 48 hours later, how are the Cavs mentally handling what happened in Game 1?
Yeah, Ernie, well, that's been the question for the Cavaliers, like you said, for the last 48 hours. How do they mentally recover from a loss like this? And Kenny Atkinson's response has been, well, the same way we did all those other times that we had those bad losses in these same playoffs. Atkinson said they went through this when R.J. Barrett hit the 3 that almost bounced as high as the ceiling in Game 6 in Toronto. They were crushed when they failed to close out the last series at home. That was devastating too, he said, and our response has always been, hey, let's get back on the horse and just keep going. So the Cavaliers, at least outwardly, appear to be owning what happened. They also seem determined to move on. Donovan Mitchell said he really didn't have an answer as to why he didn't score in overtime. He and James Harden were a combined 1 for 10 from the floor with just 3 points in the last 12 minutes of game one. Donovan was asked if he was healthy, if perhaps there was an injury that maybe he was playing through, and he said, no, I feel great. Now, Donovan said that he wasn't going to overreact to what happened in game one, that it was a bad loss, but that it was just one loss. And his plan was just to watch the film and figure some things out for tonight's game, too. Ernie?
Lisa Salters, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Shaq, I got a question for you because we've heard like the Cavalier players afterwards saying, as Lisa points out, hey, it's one loss, it's a loss whether you lose by 40 or whether you lose by 1. Is that something you would truly believe or something you feel like you need to say?
You need to say it, and if you want to win a championship, and if you think your team has the potential to win the championship, you have to embed that in your mind. My question is, can they bounce back from it mentally? You know, listen, it was a tough loss. They're in New York, 48 hours. I was actually in New York. I read the articles. The articles were killer. Can they bounce back? We're all players. We have egos. So, you know, as you heard Coach and Donovan say, we missed some shots. The offense, you know, forget the defense, you know, forget all that. We missed some shots. So if you stick to that excuse, if you believe that excuse, and if you come out and play like you think you're going to win a championship, you do have a chance. But again, can they bounce back emotionally? I'm looking to see if they know how to make in-game adjustments. You can't let a guy go at my guys 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row. At some point, you got to call a timeout. At some point, one of your teammates got to grab you and say, hey, man, send them this way to the help. So can they make in-game adjustments? Will they be ready emotionally? And will they believe the excuses that they set up for themselves?
Chuck, Kenny Atkinson, you heard him say that the offense was the thing that jumped out at him and how stagnant things got in that last 7.5 minutes.
Well, first of all, let's get one. Kenny Atkinson had a bad 6 minutes, and the Cavs had a bad 6 minutes. First of all, if you got a 20-point lead, your offense and defense sucks. Let's get that out the way. That ain't just no offensive thing. I do think their offense got stagnant first and foremost, but they didn't play it. They can't let James Harden just get abused like that. First of all, if he's not going to play any better defense, because not only he messed up on one-on-one on Brunson, if you have to go back and look at the tape, he left those guys open for those wide open threes in the corner. So you factor in when Brunson was, they took him off Brunson, they put him on other guys, and he gave up 2 wide open threes. Right here, you know, come on, man, that's just a layup. I mean, this is just like, now at this point right here, you just can't let him just cook this dude. Now, this is just like, listen, the house is on fire. You just got to get your family out. Now watch this here. Hey, now too late now. The house is way on fire.
There ain't really no help you can do with that 1-4 flat.
Well, you got to take the ball out of his hands. Look at that. This is like Ernie, this is like 7 times in a row.
And Mike Brown said, hey, it's no secret. We were attacking James Harden.
Yeah.
And the same question you asked Brunson the other night, Shaq.
Yeah, man, listen, James Harden is not a great defender. However, Brunson is not a great defender either. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm also going at him. The last, you know, when he hit those 7 shots in a row on defense, he rested on defense, which allowed him to have great energy on offense. So if he's going to attack our guy's got to attack him also.
How do you keep James Harden out of that situation again tonight, Kenny?
Well, you know, James, first of all, James is 36 years old.
Oh,
so you know, he should be getting cooked by
Brunson.
By Brunson. You know, however, you know, he is still formidable on the offensive end. So if you're going to hide him, at times you're gonna have to go double. And who am I gonna leave? I'm gonna leave Bridges or I'm gonna leave Hart. And I'm gonna say you guys are gonna have to be stars in this series. And if that happens, congratulations. But if you allow this guy to play one-on-one basketball, he has been the clutch player in the NBA at one time. I think the best clutch player down the stretch. And he's been Little Wemby in terms of down the stretch for these games. So you can't allow him to play that. Or you go zone. You're like, oh, we're just going to zone up because this guy's just beating us off the dribble, and we don't have the personnel to do it. But the last thing I would do, I would not switch pick and rolls. Like, my guy's got to fight through or go under to not have James Harden guard him in those things. But why are we switching every single pick and roll when all you have to do is fight through a screen by another guard? So he's not even fighting a screen
on a big.
From a big. He's fighting it from another guard. He could just get through that screen and play who wants to guard him, guard him. And
But
stop
also,
switching.
if you look at those plays, it wasn't no screen coming. That was just cooking James' ass.
Yeah, that
so
was one for
number
a
one,
fact.
James got to take more pride in his defense. But Coach Atkinson, he didn't make any adjustments. He had two timeouts that lead went from 22 to 10 before he called the first timeout. At that point, the house is on fire.
It went from 22 to 5.
And before he called a timeout.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, and we're screaming,
Yeah.
yo, man, timeout.
Yeah, timeout.
And then, because you know, when you get to the 2-minute mark, you lose those timeouts anyway.
Yeah, you got 2 max in the last 2 or 3 minutes
you
of
got
the game.
you're like, why are you saving time? What are you saving for, a spring break? No, that's not need that. But also, you got to take James out the game. If you got Donovan out
Don't
there,
switch. Just don't switch.
No, but I'm saying, if James gonna get cooked like that, Dennis Schroeder gonna compete more. Wade gonna compete more. Struth's gonna compete more. Those guys are good, hard-working defenders. You just cannot let that happen.
Just put James on Josh Hart and you're fine. And don't switch.
Well, as we head to break, again, I guess revisiting the Karl Anthony Towns accessory.
That's not a bad outfit, man. That's too much money to spend on a bag, is what I said. That's a bad outfit.
No,
that was a bad. That was a bad
bag.
I had too much confidence.
How much did that bag cost, by the way?
That was a Nike outfit. Say, hey, man, Darren Lewis, that ain't funny, Darren Lewis.
The bag was a Nike bag too, the one
was
you
a
were
Nike,
toting?
yeah.
No, that wasn't a Nike bag.
Oh, that was like a little clutch.
Little clutch.
Yeah, little clutch.
Hey,
That was a purse. That wasn't
did you just
a
call
clutch.
it a clutch?
Yeah.
You need to stop.
It's a purse.
That go that man.
Yeah, take a look back at game 2 of that Western Conference final when we come back.
Shaq.
NBA Tip-Off is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
You'll see what one much SGA down the stretch, and the series is tied at a game apiece after that 122-113 win. Man, we've talked about that OKC depth.
They're going to need it.
Yep, 57-25 in bench points last night. And in the series, it is 107-41 in favor of OKC.
Ernie, your son has been just flat out.
Oh, he has. Alex Caruso has been great.
The other Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Jay
They're
Will.
so good. You got double Jalen Williams.
Cason Wallace.
But I tell you what, McClain.
Jared McCain.
McClain is
McCain.
McCain. I tell you what, man, Philadelphia. I don't know what the hell y'all were thinking. I do have one complaint, Ernie.
What
What would that be?
I watched the whole game.
Hey, nice
And,
flex.
Well, I was going back and forth between that and the hockey game. Not gonna lie.
You watch a whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was going back and forth between the Kings and the Avs.
Okay, get to the point. Rambling wreck.
You
Georgia
people
Tech.
at home and on TV talking about they were physical with Wemby. Man, y'all need to stop it. I've been kissed harder. Was he physical, putting a body on him? See that, Modesto Galato? Could you stop it? That little stuff he was doing, Hartenstein. I love Hartenstein, but he just put a body on Wemby. It wasn't overly aggressive. He didn't hit. There was no excessive fouls. But for you people thinking that's physicality, y'all need to shut the hell up.
Well, in this day and age.
Well,
Yes, you're right, Ernie. This day and age.
yeah, but I don't think Wemby's complaining. So he's
No.
not worried about it. I think Wemby's like, okay, you want to play like this? I can
Play like what?
No, whatever you want
You
to play
don't want
like.
to be touched at all?
Wemby's not complaining. That's the fans complaining.
And the
You're yelling
announcers.
at the well, you're
And the
yelling at them.
announcers.
Well, I will say this. The one thing that will change the direction of the Spurs, I've never seen this ever happen where a guy can be so dominant when he's got the basketball, but he still turns it over. And that's Castle.
20 turnovers in 2 games.
That's crazy.
Because usually you're turning the ball over because guys, you can't really handle them. But when he doesn't turn it over, he is dominant against these guys. All you have to do is keep the basketball.
But in fairness, it ain't all him.
20 turnovers, though.
Yeah, and first of all, that's too many turnovers. Yeah. But they have the best perimeter defense in the NBA.
He can handle it because when he doesn't turn it over, they can't guard him.
Yeah.
So that means that
he just shoot it and not pass it.
That's all I would be doing. I'd be getting to the rim.
By the way, heading into Game 3 now, the injury situation: Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, J-Dub, all listed as questionable.
But it's
right
better
now.
it's better for the Thunder. And what I mean by that is
because they're used to playing without
100%. Yeah. They're used to playing without Jalen Williams. Without Fox and without Harper, that's a big deal.
Put Wemby at the point. Put him at the 1.
Video of James Harden.
Stop it, man. Stop it, real deal, Anil.
Come on, man. That guy definitely had to get fired.
We're coming back with more here in just a second on NBA Tip-Off presented by AT&T. Welcome you back to Atlanta, Studio J. Meantime, outside Madison Square Garden.
Outside because they couldn't afford to get in.
Well, it's only 19,000 seats.
I'm just joking. I can't joke now.
Chuck, you're right.
I'd love to see him show up and do that, though.
Hey, Chuck, you're right.
Only 8 million people in this city.
Y'all have nothing else to do but stand outside like damn fools.
Cheer for your team? Yeah.
They can do that at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin's not here, always text us.
Me watching Alex Caruso.
How do you know Kevin's not here does not always text us?
He does.
It's not a text, fool, but okay.
No, it's not.
All right, Chuck.
It's a tweet or an X or whatever you want to call it these days. The New York Knicks are looking to write a new chapter in their storied basketball history. Having advanced to a second straight Eastern Conference Finals, they have their sights on their first Finals appearance since 1999. In advance of this series, Malika Andrews sat down with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns to discuss how the team has prepared for this moment.
How often do you guys sit down for an interview together?
Not too much.
Yeah. Early January, late December. You all were 2-9. Tell me more about that. What was true that was hard during that time, and how did that shape what we're seeing now?
I mean, we were 2-9, but pressure makes diamonds, and we came together, and we always talked about the unity of this team, and we talked about the character in this locker room, and we just, instead of falling apart, we leaned on that unity that you saw so special last year, and we found ourselves on the other side of that situation and even growing stronger as a team.
The New York Knicks had won 8 straight games.
There was a point in the first round, you were trailing 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks. What happened after Game 3 that you all turned it around?
It was a lot of things said. Nothing was disrespectful, nothing was personal. It was kind of soul-searching time. Like, what do we want this to be?
What was the answer? Who did the New York Knicks want to be?
I mean, we want to win. And we saw how far we got last year. And there's nothing in our minds that said we weren't, going to get back there. So just trust experience, trust each other, most importantly, and things will work out. And like you said, we're here now.
The Knicks will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. They've won 7 consecutive playoff games.
Karl, you've been sort of the hub in a lot of ways of the offense in a new way lately. What has that opened up for this Knicks team?
I think it just, one, allows, our cap to not have so much pressure on him to bring the ball up and to have to make the plays all the time, And I think we put so much on his shoulders to do for our team so we can have a chance to win. It's great that I can help him. We need him to save his energy, because we all know, especially last year, he got a whole award for what he does in the fourth quarter.
Brunson, three-pointer, puts it in! Captain Clutch has come alive!
It's really cool to see Cat, what he's been able to do. Obviously, he's had in his repertoire, and I think us having to go to that during the Atlanta series, we kind of saw something that we can continue to do more of. Whatever we asked of him, he does it. It's just the type of person he is.
Did you hear that Jalen, he was asked about that and not having the ball in his hands as much? He said, I'm not a star.
1, I'm not a star. 2, I want to win.
It's true, you're not a star, you're a captain.
Okay.
There you go.
Semantics?
He's annoying. He's annoying.
Oh my gosh, all right. There's something special that happens after you guys win, and it's a dance party that's happening outside. Can you just describe the feeling in the city right now?
The energy's crazy, the fans really believe, And that's something that we were able to provide them, you know, that belief, that hope. So, you know, we got to continue to do our part to give them something to cheer for.
Would you ever go out there?
I thought about it, then I saw J.R. Smith, and I don't know now.
Maybe after a championship?
That would be the only time I'd do it.
Championship,
But
yeah.
still, it might be even a little crazier then.
You're facing the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I mean, obviously they're a great team, well coached. They have a variety of ways they can beat you. They can beat you with the three. They have a lot of creators, but obviously Donovan and James do a lot of great things for their team. So I think for us, you just gotta kind of lock in and make things as difficult as possible for them.
Knicks fans have been waiting to go back to the NBA Finals for an incredibly long time. What would it mean to this fan base, to you all, to be back there?
Just because we stand at the door don't mean we open in the door. You know, we got to do our part. And we've been hungry for this moment ever since last year when we lost. So we understand how it is to get to this point. But we're looking for a new experience, how it is to get past this point.
Will you indulge me for 1 minute? And let's go to June. And there's a parade through New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Have you allowed yourself to even think about?
No,
Why not?
it's no point.
The job's not
A lot
done.
of work to be done.
Sometimes, Shaq, a guy has it, and not everybody has it, the ability to take over a game, and when you're down, like they were in game one, and it became his game.
He definitely has the it factor. He's a great player. You know, when they do that 1-4 flats, not really much help you can do. And you know, like everybody knows, they were targeting James Harden, but he has the it factor, and he wants it. I like his answer. I respect his answer, but not thinking about it. But as a player, you do think about it, and sometimes it just fills you up with so much rage that you have to go out and get it. They know they let one. Well, I was going to say let one slip away. They know the first game was lucky. So now, if they want to get to that next level and get to that next series, they got to come out and they got to dominate these guys the next 3, 4, maybe 5 games. And he has the ability. Cat has the ability. And, you know, they played great in the last series. You know, game one, that was okay. But my question is, can they do it? Can they, you know, bring New York to the finals? And, you know, they say that they're not thinking about it, but as a player, you do think about it.
You know, it's interesting because a lot of the talk was about the change in the New York offense and running things through Cat. And we saw as the game began last night, you saw Cat out top, holding the ball like a baseball, looking around, distributing. His assist numbers have been way up. But in that game, when it came down to are we going to win this game, it was Jalen Brunson
because
time and time again.
They don't have the same advantage they had in those other series. Cat got to score. Because I'm screaming at Kenny, we watching the game. They got James Harden guarding him earlier in the game.
And he at the top of the key.
He at the top of the key. I'm like, that is so damn stupid. Now, when Joel, who can't move, yes, get Joel away from the basket, he can get all those assists. But if they're going to play James Harden or a little guy on Cat, he got to take his big ass down in the post.
But Mobley had good success the other night against
Mobley
Cat.
and Allen, they're the key.
And it's a different animal than what he's seen in the Atlanta series
100%.
or the Philly series.
But they were trying to hide James Harden on him a couple times. I think Allen and Mobley gonna have an advantage because of their mobility. They stopped going to them in the fourth quarter, the last few minutes. That's what bothered me more than anything about the game. Harden was 1 for 6. And what's name was 1 for 7. Mobley and Allen did not touch the ball those last few minutes.
I'm always amazed, Ernie, that a guy, when you know that he's getting the ball down the stretch and he can deliver the way Brunson is doing. I'm more amazed at him because when you look at guys who've done it, LeBron, Kobe, Michael, they have a physical advantage. Brunson really does not have a physical advantage in the fourth quarter on the guy guarding him. He's not taller than him. What?
Chuck, Shaq, we dipped that guy.
No, but you guys were receiving passes. They're starting with the ball. Different. So he's starting with the ball. 10 eyes on him. You guys.
Well, when they give me the ball and give Shaq the ball, it's 10 eyes on us too.
No.
Thank you, Chuck.
Everything's on the other side.
Thank you, Chuck, for sticking up for me.
Different bringing it from baseline to baseline.
I can dribble.
Stop.
The Knicks, by the way.
You better Google me, man.
Listen, you that dude, but you ain't that dude. You that dude, but you ain't that dude.
I love Dave Chappelle.
Hey, the Knicks, by the way, 9-2 in this postseason. Those 2 losses by a total of 2 points.
Wow.
When we come back, we're going to hear from Scoop.
You ought to, man. I can't say nothing without.
Let me see that little white sauce.
All I'm saying is, Chuck, with all of the great restaurants in New York City,
You don't want no glizzy, Chuck?
you go to a food truck once a day?
Yeah, I do. I love it. And ain't nothing y'all can say to make me not want street meat.
I'm not saying you want street meat, but there's a million great restaurants.
I go to
take
them
you
at
to a
night.
place, Chuck.
Okay.
But during the day, I want street meat.
All right, I got you.
Told you, man.
Where were we? In NBA history, there have been 10 buzzer beaters which won series. Okay? Most recent, 7 years ago, Kawhi, the friendly bounce.
That was a crazy
knocks
bounce.
out Philadelphia. One of the first happened 40 years ago and is chronicled here by our buddy, Scoop D'Agostino.
Were you there?
Mr. and Mrs. North and South America and all the ships at sea, let's go to press. May 21st, 1986, the skyscraper takes down the Lakers. For the previous 4 seasons, the LA Lakers had represented the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. But they were down 3-1 to Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon. The Twin Towers looking to overpower Los Angeles. The Dream got in a nightmare situation, tossed from the game after catching some flack from Mitch Kupchak with 5 to play.
Kupchak and Hakeem go at it, and Lucas wrestles him down, and both benches empty.
Teams were tied in the closing seconds. A shot from Byron Scott rimmed off, leaving 1 second left for the Rockets.
McRae will inbound.
And all in one motion, Sampson caused a commotion.
Sampson. It goes. It's over. A miraculous shot by Ralph Sampson. And an improbable finish to the Lakers' reign.
Sampson's contorting had all the newsies reporting the big fella had the Rockets lifting off into the NBA Finals. As always, we're giving you the scoops on hoops right here on great moments in playoff history.
You ain't gonna
Thanks
put
so
your
much,
hands up,
Scoop.
Kareem?
Yes. Yeah,
It still hurts.
Still hurts.
C-Rock, what up, brother?
You know Michael Hatcher?
I don't think so.
Well, you know everybody else who.
Well, I said if I know a name, I'm going to say it.
There is Donovan Mitchell, who had 29 the other night, but only 3 in fourth quarter and overtime. How will the Cavs respond after that debacle of Game 1?
NBA Tip-Off is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Nikolai by Malone. And once again, they feed it down low, and Shaq serves up a facial on Olowokandi.
He lets Shaquille O'Neal catch the ball inside the painted area. He's virtually unstoppable.
Well, Conley, go get that.
The Candyman. Candyman. You didn't like Candyman since when he was a Clipper.
I don't like nobody. You know that.
Yeah.
You don't like big men.
Yeah, true. True.
You know what I'm excited about?
What's that?
We got a brand new Shaqtin' a fool.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was a foul. You didn't even call a foul, Steve Javis.
That was an offensive foul.
No, it wasn't.
He
called
sacked the
flopping.
fool.
What?
He sacked the fool.
Say what?
He sacked the fool.
What?
He doesn't like nobody.
Especially Chuck. Number 4, Jalen Duren.
No.
He will have plenty of time to think about this pass in Cancun.
Oh, come on.
Great pass, too. That's a great pass.
Damn.
Don't talk about shooting, catch it.
Yeah. Well, if you have a 3 or a dunk, you always take the dunk.
Number 3, DeAndre Ayton.
Hey.
Dominating.
What is this, the big man version of
Dominating
Shaqtin'?
was dominating in the playoffs.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Damn, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah,
You're going to be
man.
broke one day with all that ice on.
Dominating. Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all got to stop spending all y'all money on jewelry, young guys.
Number 2, Andre Drummond.
Oh, this is a
Big man edition.
It's a big man
And
edition.
guess what? I'm revoking his big man card. Watch this, Chuck.
Yeah, this is several attempts.
Come on, man.
2,
That's not his fault.
Why?
3,
He can't, you know.
Why?
I'm going to leave it alone.
6.
And then Cat says, no, all it takes
I
is
would have not
one.
given Cat the broom.
I got it, little man.
I wouldn't have been doing that.
Chalamet,
Yeah,
we
I
love
would
you,
not
brother.
have given the broom.
cracks the Liberty Bell.
And number one, Rudy Gobert.
Oh, it's the big man version.
He got put in a San Antonio spin cycle.
Oh, no. Come on, Whitney.
I can't wait to see what Chan Traub does with this. I cannot wait to see this.
It's a
twister.
Come on, Rudy. You can't be looking the wrong way. Come on, now. Not the defensive player of the year.
You see them Charles Chuck?
Oh, man. Those were some of the best ones of the year right there.
Chan, you never disappoint with what you're able to do with Shaqtin' a Fool. When we come back here on NBA Tip-Off, you're going to hear from the Knicks' Josh Hart, so keep it here. Hey, look who's at the game tonight.
Come on.
Are you believing that?
Who's not at the game?
Let it go, Rick. Let it go, Rick.
Spike is on fire right now.
Yep. He is
Thank
super
you.
happy.
Yeah. Better be thank you for having your son come to New York City. Changed us.
Hey, by the way, Vanessa Richardson had a chance to speak with the Knicks' Josh Hart.
Thanks, Ernie. Josh, there are many different ways to win in the NBA. You guys were down by 22. You clawed your way back. What does a win like that say about the resiliency of this Knicks team?
I think it just shows the character in the locker room. Obviously, start from the top, with Dolan and Leon, and then trickles down to Mike and, the rest of the guys, JB, Cat. It's just that toughness and that ability to face adversity head on.
The defensive pressure you guys had yielded a lot of turnovers. You were a big part of that. What do you like about the defensive identity of this Knicks team?
Yeah, I mean, we got to come in with toughness, attention to detail, and focus. And if we do that, play with physicality, play to our strengths, we're able to get stops and then go out and play fast, and that's something that we really want to do.
I just had a great conversation with Mike Brown in the hallway. He said at the beginning of the season he had you guys sign a contract with the 5 standards of the team. And he said one of those standards is sacrifice. And he mentioned you showed that in the fourth quarter. How have those standards and those pillars really guided you guys to winning this year?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and sacrifice is at the top of it. Obviously, there's accountability. I'm blanking on the other 3, but I mean, that's the makeup of this team, and that's what we want to be right now. That's what we want to be moving forward. And if you do those things, those 5 things, that breeds a championship team.
Like he's done so many times, Jalen Brunson took over in the fourth. What did you see from your teammate, your friend, and your podcast co-host?
I mean, that's something that I know he's very comfortable in high-pressure situations. And for us, it's always, obviously we will always love to be in a blowout, but we know in close games if we can get stops, he'll go out there and make the right play. And that right play might not be, making shots. It might be drawing defense in and kicking it and letting other guys make plays. But, that's why he's our guy. That's why he was clutch last year. And, we're comfortable with the ball in his hand.
Starting 2-0 would be massive in a series. What do you need to do to get another win at the Garden tonight?
We got to play with a sense of urgency, a sense of desperation. We know they're going to come out, throw their best shot, and we can't just match that energy, but we got to exceed it.
Thanks, Josh.
Appreciate it.
Ernie, back to you.
Next.
NBA Courtside is presented by Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, just 29 calories.
And we welcome you to NBA Courtside, presented by Michelob Ultra. You'll remember round 1. Remember when Jaden McDaniels scored when the time was running out, game was out of hand?
Yes.
The Joker ran down the floor to get him. And all you guys had opinions on what you would do if somebody was rubbing it in, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Chuck, what did you say you were going to do?
Oh, you put a bounty on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have some old video of something similar happening to Chuck's Phoenix Suns.
Against the Rockets.
Absolutely. Roll it.
We weren't rubbing it in, though.
Yeah, well, that's why we hit you.
Could be the rapper as Mario Elie has begun the celebration. Down to 10 seconds. A larger one. Yes, and it counts. And that will do it. And now Vernon Maxwell and Charles Barkley pushing each other and knocking each other back as a very, very hard foul by Charles Barkley on Olajuwon as he put the ball in the hole, as Maxwell's going to be thrown out, and I believe Charles Barkley is gone as well. Well, Vernon Maxwell has been ejected for the 2nd straight game. Dick Pavetta with the ejection.
I'm gonna tell you now.
Dick Pavetta throws Chuck out.
If you would have hurt Dream before the finals, we would have been fighting. I'm just letting you know. I would have came in the locker room fighting, swinging. I'm telling you.
The game was over. I can't let him dunk that ball, and that was a little foul. Out of my respect for Hakeem. Now, if it had been you, I'd have knocked your ass in the third row. Because you know better.
Listen, I wouldn't have taken it. But I thought, honestly, Dream, we know. That's why you didn't foul him hard. He is not that type of, I'm going to rub it in. It was in the moment, so he gets the pass and he goes in. And he's like,
and I gave Dream a hard pass, Ernie.
It was more. It was a gentlemanly.
Yes, if there had been anybody else, I'd have knocked the hell out of him.
Because he knows Dream well.
I'd have knocked the hell out of you, Shaq.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would have. Yes, I would have.
I don't think you. Yeah, that little touch wouldn't have hurt Shaq.
No, because I would have had to hit him harder. You're exactly right.
You'd have been embarrassed. You'd have got dunked on.
No. Hakeem knows better. He should have tried to score there.
Yeah, you would have.
What do you?
Get off me, little man.
No, come on, Max. That's what I'm talking about.
Max, you're gonna be hard to be playing the finals with a black eye. When you run up on Chuck again, them have to tell you twice and give you 2 black eyes.
Under a minute before we go, what do you? As this game begins, what are you looking for out of the Cleveland Cavaliers that will say, you know what, that was game 1, we've forgotten?
Real energy versus fake energy. We know they're going to come out energetic, but can they sustain that? The other day they got up to 22, but then they had a major lapse. So can they come out with that energy? Can they sustain that energy? And are they mentally ready and mentally prepared to try to get a game at the Garden?
Can Chuck's guy, Jarrett Allen
and
do a Game 7 episode instead of a Game 1s and 2s?
You got to get the ball.
I'm curious to see how the Cavs are going to come out tonight. But if the Knicks, we know the Knicks going to come out on fire.
Get that spaghetti ready.
Sorry y'all couldn't afford to go to